Hello everyone, my name is Apurva and welcome back to my series How to Do That. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how to add a pop-up in Power Apps. So let's begin. First, we are going to add a button which you can click and open the pop-up. Now, on the onSelect property of this button, you are going to set a variable. First, set the name of your variable and then you are going to write what you are setting it to. So in this case, we are going to set our variable to true. Then you need a rectangle to basically create the box or the dialog box of the pop-up. Then we are going to add a text label. Here you can display some message like, are you sure you want to cancel this? Are you sure you want to proceed with this record, or whatever you are trying to show on that pop-up, because this will act like a confirmation pop-up, right? So you can say, do you wish to continue? Whatever is your message, you can write it here. And then finally we are going to create a copy of this button. This button is going to come inside of the pop-up, which is basically going to be your no or cancel button or close button for that matter. For example, you are writing, do you wish to continue, and the user clicks on no or cancel or close. This can be that button which basically closes the pop-up. Now on this button you are going to set the pop-up variable as false. Then all the controls that you have inside your pop-up, you're going to select them and create a group, so it's easier for us to write the formula instead of going to each and every control and writing it. You create a group of pop-up for that control and then click on visible property, and in the visible property you are going to write the name of your variable. In our case we are going to write where pop-up. Now let's test this. This does work, but it is also missing one more thing, and which is a very important factor. Now let's say you have a lot of controls on your screen. Let's say you have a text input, a button somewhere on the screen, and when you have this pop-up open, you are still able to access those controls, meaning your user can still write it in the text input and click on the button which is in the background, but which shouldn't be the case when you have a pop-up on, right? So for this, we are going to add a rectangle which basically comes on the entire screen, and we are going to make sure the fill property of this rectangle is enough for the user to see that there are elements on the screen, but you can't access them because there's something blocking. Once you have added this layer, make sure your pop-up group is on top of this rectangle so that your pop-up is accessible to your users. Also, when you close this pop-up, this rectangle, this layer that you have on the screen, that also needs to go off. So on the visible property of this rectangle, you add where pop-up. Also, most of the pop-ups do have a close button as well, close icon. So if you want, you can add a close icon and set the same set formula which we have on the close button. And that's it. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe.